why, presented by myself and France. This day, the 12th of June, 2025. The title of this chapter is The Golden Circle. Simon Sinek's central message is great leaders inspired action by starting with why. This fundamental idea underpins Sinek's philosophy, suggesting that true leadership isn't about what you do, but why you do it. Importance of leading with purpose. Leading with a clear sense of purpose provides direction, motivates individuals, and fosters a deeper connection with the mission of an organization. Our next slide now goes to the golden circle diagram. The golden circle diagram is a diagram that has three cores or three circles. At the inner part of the circle, you have the why. At the second layer of the circle, you have the how, and the outer layer, you have the what. Why is the purpose. The how is the process and the value, and then the what is the result. Why? This represents the organization's core benefits. Sorry, the organization's core belief, its cause, or its purpose. It is the reason why the organization exists. The how, this is the middle layer. It encompasses the unique process, value, or principles that guides how an organization fulfills its why. Then the what, which stands for the result, is the outermost layer, representing the tangible products, service, or results that an organization produces, what it actually does. So now, some organizations start from outside in, and other organizations starts from inside to out. So Simon Sinek argues that an inspirational leader organization communicates from the inside to the out, which means it starts from the why to the how and to the what, and not from the what to the how before the why. So when you start from the what, going to the how and why, you are going outside in. But when you start from the why, before you go to the how, and before you go to the what, you are starting from the inside out. Hallelujah. Sorry for the hallelujah. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. These powerful quotes encapsulate the core principle of Sinek's work, highlighting the emotional connection to purpose is more compelling than the product or service themselves. The quote summarizes the core principle of inspirational leadership. It emphasizes that genuine inspiration comes from a shared understanding of purpose, not just from tangible outputs. The power of why. Why connects emotionally. When an organization communicates its why, it taps into the emotional part of people's brain, fostering a deeper, more resonant connection than simply presenting facts or futures. Why? The second power of why. Why inspires loyalty and trust. This emotional connection leads to greater loyalty among customers, employees, and stakeholders, building trust that transcends. Building trust that transcends transactional relationships. The next thing about why is that why it drives long-term success. Organizations that effectively articulate and live their why tend to achieve more sustainable and enduring success because they attract individuals who believe in their cause. The real-world example that Sinek used was Apple. Apple communicates with the why. Apple starts with why. Think different. Apple's iconic marketing slogan exemplifies their why. What is the slogan? Challenging the status quo and empowering individuals to think creatively. Then their how. They sleek, the design, use focus. Apple's how is reflect in its commitment to elegant design, use interface, and a user-centric approach to product development. It means Apple, the design, their how is reflected in the best of qualities of their designs, what they put forth or what they send out to the market. And then the what. The what now that they send out to the market is the computers, the phones, the tablets, the tangible products like the MacBook, the iPhones, the iPads are the what that results from the why and the how. Others lead with why. In contrast, many other companies focus primarily on advertising the features and specification of their products rather than purpose. The brain-science connection. The limbic brain is responsible for feeling, trust, loyalty, and all decision-making. That doesn't involve language. This aligns with emotion, connection, fostered by why and how. The neocortex, it is the part of the brain that handles rational and analytical thoughts and language. This part of the brain processes the what, fact and future. People act on feelings before logic. Yes, Sinek is trying to make us understand that people will often act based on their feelings and belief. That is why, before the rational mind, that is the what, can fully process to information. Now, the reflection confirms purpose-driven leadership. That's the first thing. The Golden Circle framework reinforced the idea that effective leadership is rooted in a clear and compelling purpose. Challenges, focus less on what, more on why. It challenges leaders to shift their emphasis from simply listing achievements or products to articulating the deeper reasons behind their action. Personal mission and clarity is essential for individual leaders. Understand and clarification and clarifying their own personal why is crucial for authentic and inspiring leadership. Now I'm going to take an example of applying to the things, some of the things I do. I'll apply the Golden Circle to my own personal life. To my own personal life, I run a ministry so far called the Agape Ministry, which is both virtual and now physical. We have core values and mission statements that explains the why and clarification of the ministry. So when each thing we want to do, we make sure that we have the why. But now, after studying this course, I have learned another thing which I am going to apply to my flyers. Like the flyers are put out, for instance, when we have like crusades or special service, it is just going to come out to tell you we are having a special service. But we did not tell the people why this particular service at this particular time, why we are organizing this particular service. For instance, if we have a midnight prayer, instead of me now or us now communicating midnight prayer Friday, this, we will come out to say that if you sleep at midnight, you don't get up to pray, this is what is doing, this is what is doing. A good child of God or a good leader that you are, or a good faithful, you have to get up and pray. So we will start by communicating the why we are organizing this program before the how and now the what. So that is how this start with why has helped in my leadership as at the level of the ministry. Now, in my leadership at the level of the bank where I work, I have realized a lot of failures that the bank had or have done because they did not start with why. For instance, when the issue of ATM cards came out, ATM cards, every bank was excited. Every bank was getting ATM cards. We too, we went into ATM cards. But we did not ask ourselves, why are we getting into these ATM cards? Because following the nature of our customers, if we understood the why, maybe we would not have gone into that ATM, but we would have gone more into digitalization. Because majority of the customers we have, they are outstation customers. But you still need to take this card to the bank for you to be served. You need to take this card to the bank. And so if your bank is not, or your branches are not spread all over the nation, it is still a problem. So we did not solve that problem, the why problem. But when we asked ourselves, why are we having this thing? We thought it was the solution. But still, we have customers still going. We understood that. It has come to a level where customers don't want to go to the bank. Customers want to sit at their comfort in their homes and manipulate their money. Customers, they don't even want to move around with money. They want to sit at the comfort of their mobile phones and do their transfer, pay their bills, and so on and so forth. So with this why, we have now decided now to come out with the digital banking system, whereby the why is answering the problem of customers, which is me sitting here in my house and taking my salary, paying my annual bill, paying my sending my landlord's rent through Momo and doing my things. So as we have taken the product to the customers and answering the why of the customers, I think the sales is going to be different. So that is where we have applied the why before going to the how. And how is the how? We have now bought a good digital software, and we have now affiliated to the MTN and Orange, and we have had what we call the USSD code, which when you sit in your room, at any time, you can just dial the USSD code, whether you have an Android phone or you have a Choronko phone, you can dial your USSD code and transfer your money from your account to your phone, from your account to another account in another bank, from your account to your landlord account. And this is what we have done. And this is now we are now making the money, and we have solved the customer's problem. So this is the way I can apply the golden cycle to my cycle of work, and this is how it has helped me as a leader. So to conclude, before I'll call on Frances to say what she can say, I want to conclude that we should start with why. Always begin communication and action by articulating your purpose. You have to be inspired with purpose. True inspiration comes from connecting with others on an emotional level through shared belief. Communicate from the inside out. Follow the golden circle by communicating your why, then your how, and finally your what. And I want us tonight, as we finish and as we go back, I want us to reflect on what is your why. That is the concluding question I'm leaving us tonight. What is your why? What is your why even in your marriage? What is your why? Why were you created? Why? What is your why? So you have to, this question I'm asked is to encourage your personal introspection and the application of Snake's principle in your life and in everything that you will do. Thank you very much as I give the floor to my Bombo.
Thank you very much, Mrs. France. Good evening to each and every one of you. I trust we are all doing well. So I'm not going to add much. Mrs. Jane France said, the book review from Simon Sinek starts with why. My personal understanding, or my resume, if I can put it like that, is simply put, as he said, starting with why helps us to understand why we do the things we do. The golden circle, helps us to understand why we do the things that we do. It simply gives us the way forward. I said in my notes that the why is actually the fuel that carries us to wherever we are supposed to be. Why is the reason? Why is the purpose? Why is the foundation of everything that we are doing or everything we ought to do? So I took it, as he said, generally in companies, but I had to think about it at a personal level, as in the question she asked at the end: why are you there? What is your purpose? Why do you do the things that you do? In your relationships with people, if you're talking about leadership, as Coach D said, leadership is not only about companies, it's a day-to-day life. You impact people every day at every level. So why do you do the things that you do with the people that you do? Why are you behaving the way you behave? If you successfully understand, or if you successfully place the why on everything, I believe you are going to do, or you are going to do a great impact. Excuse my English, I'm from the French-speaking region, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit tordu. So the why is the purpose. And someone said, the pastor said, if the purpose of a thing is not defined, abuse will definitely be inevitable. So many people, or many of us, or many companies don't succeed in what they are doing, not because what they were doing was not great, but simply because from the onset, they forgot to put an emphasis on the why, on the purpose. So every time we go into anything and we put aside the purpose first, we definitely turn the thing into everything. Whenever we start with what are we supposed to do, we don't answer the real questions. We don't do the right things. And because we have started answering from the outside in, we definitely do the things that everybody does. That's what he was speaking about concerning Apple. Apple didn't want to do like everybody does it. They thought about doing it differently. So anytime you start doing what you are doing the way everybody does, asking yourself, what do I want to do, or how do I do it, you will fail at it. Start with, why am I doing this? Why am I waking up every morning? Why am I taking my phone to speak with this person? Why am I sitting down at this hour to do what I'm doing? The why will always be the greatest reason. The why will always be the why will be le moteur. Le moteur, c'est quoi?
The driving force.
You can say it in French.
The why. Come again.
You can say it in French, we'll understand. You can mix the French and the English. The driving force.
The why will be your engine. Okay, that's what I was looking for. The engine. Without an engine, you can't drive a car. Without an engine, you can't do much. Even if you are using just a robot mixer, you can't do much. You need an engine. So the why in our lives is simply the engine that drives everything. Everything. So why is the reason why we do the things? Why is the reason for everything? Looking for the why. Let's seek for the why. She said, what is the reason? Why are you in your marriage? What is the purpose for you grooming your children? Why are you in the company where you are? Why are you? Why are you? It's a question we
Thank you so much, France. Thank you, Jane Francis. Thank you, France and France. We are so glad for your vote on this chapter. It looks like I heard Coach D's voice. Am I right, Mommy? All right. Just in case I didn't hear well, two key things I picked while you guys were presenting. Two key things I picked. First, Jane Francis, she said, effective leadership is rooted in clarity of purpose. Effective leadership is rooted in clarity of purpose. That means if our purpose is not clear, we cannot go. There is just almost nothing we can do. So it keeps us revolving around the why. And everyone, while France was talking, I picked out something as she kept talking about the why. Everyone has their unique, everyone's why is unique. And that is why it will inspire people. If we just join the crowd and we're doing like everyone else is doing, there'll be no uniqueness. But when we sit down to find a why, to me, the why sounds like a key. It sounds like an individual key that unlocks your leadership. It sounds like the secret, like your ingredient to cooking your meal or to serving your meal to the kind of meal you want to serve to humanity. And so we're very grateful again to you all for the wonderful perspective, the angle from which you saw Simon Sinek's book. This chapter particularly, we're thankful. And I'm sure that other ladies are shaking in their seats, wanting to share what they picked from this chapter, please. So whoever has something to share, please, can you indicate with a raise of a hand? So we call and you share. There's so much to share from this chapter, and our presenters today have done a wonderful job. So please, who else has something to add? It's a full class. There is just no way we cannot have more. Okay. Loveline, you want to add something?
No, I'm just joining, and I was wondering because you said like the presenters are presented. I was wondering at what time the class began.
Oh, you probably are not informed that classes start now at 7.
Oh, I was not aware.
I'm sorry. We now start at 7:30. And now it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. The announcements were made on the WhatsApp forum.
Oh, I surely skip that. Okay.
Sorry. Did you have time? Did you find time to read? You want to share something you learned? Amy, do you have something to share? Are we here? The class has suddenly become so quiet. Are we here, please?
We are here.
So
We are here. Let me just share a little.
Mommy Love, your mic is muted.
Mommy, I feel that maybe you go ahead as we wait.
Okay. Good evening once more, and thanks very much for the presenters. They've done a great job. And my only little contribution is that when you are doing something, that particular circle, golden circle, I put myself personally first. Why am I doing what I'm doing? For instance, my passion is organic farming. So I place why am I doing that organic farming? So, and then my catchword, my organization is community solutions. It's community solutions. So the solution of what I'm doing is in the community. It's just for you to come out of the box, think out of the box, and see what you are doing. How do you see the solutions there and take it from there and tell the people? So, for instance, as I say, I promote a lot of organic farming because my passion is people are now very sick just of what they eat. These long-term terminal illnesses, we see that more than 90% of the causes is what we eat. People have got a lot of chemical, they've eaten a lot of chemical.